What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon, and let's get started, you guys. No more dilly-dallying. We're sitting at about 351 right now. I feel like that's the exact price that I left off on yesterday. We did move down yesterday. We moved down as low as 336, holding that 330 area, kind of going right around the area that I was expecting it to go if we were to move down at all. I would say I was like 50-50 that we'd move down and do this, 50-50 that we'd just continue moving up. I was hoping that we would move up. Maybe, being more realistic, it was more obvious that it was coming down. I definitely acknowledged that yesterday a few times, but we did that. We held the line. We closed above this 618 from a low to high. Some people might be wondering why I'm focusing on this 618 from this low to high. Like, are you cherry picking? Does this just look right? No. Very specifically with this kind of move, right? What I'm measuring is the consolidation. So you're obviously in a downtrend, right? So you've got your down moves, consolidation phases, down moves, consolidation phases. This was looking to be the next down move, right? A continuation of this overall trend that you're in, which is a greater phase of consolidation, yes, but the point being that this fib is relevant to this move, specifically because you closed below the 618 on the first attempt here, just trashed it, went right through. It's really good that you didn't close below your 886. I will mention that, but you went pretty damn far below it. It's not completely totally rare, like you'll never see it again in your life, but it's not the common thing to break through your 618, reach for these levels the way you did, and then not achieve that. But in the ways that correspond with those moments that are rare or are less common, I should say. The moments like this where you reach for it but you just don't quite get there, in those moments oftentimes you reverse back up and you close above your 618, and not just for one day but for multiple days. You don't just have one day up, it's a bull trap, and then you complete your move down. That happens actually a good bit of the time too. That's why it's important to wait for multiple days, or specifically a close above the 618. But we were waiting for 2 days. This definitely validates the idea that this is the low, in my opinion, based off this fib. And it would validate the idea that we're going to see an extension based off this move here from our high to low, which would put us at anywhere from 528 to 631. That's kind of our target area. That 528 to 570 area, that's more specific, I would say, because we have several targets, several things that kind of lead up to those price action or price areas besides just this fib extension itself. Closing above the 382 in this regard is definitely nice as well. Finding a little bit of resistance on the 618, pulling back to the 382.5 area, totally normal. Just, next attempt that you get up to the 618, crush through it. I'm definitely in favor of the idea that you move up to this 410, 432 area over, how many days we have left in the week? 2 days left. Over the next 2 days, if not over the next 4 days. But it's going to start now. I really do think you're going to start closing prices above 376 either today or tomorrow, and we could very well reclaim those $400 levels in the coming days. $400 levels. I feel like I mumbled there, but let's go over why. So first off, the daily is neutral, right? The daily RSI is very neutral, in a position of weakness, I would say. But I don't know, overall, this kind of formation looks actually kind of bullish to me. This little bit here, it would seem a little bit weaker, but looking at it, I don't know. I would say it's definitely, it's neutral. Kind of in a position of weakness, but kind of not. It's neutral. And you are, again, right in the middle of this price action here. We're waiting for something. We're waiting for a direction, right? Whether we're going to go up or down, we're waiting. That's what the RSI is giving us, because it's not really giving us anything. So we look at the 4 hour instead of the daily, and we can see a little bit of something here. It's not normally a good thing to reject your overbought zone like this, to peek into it and then get out, right? It's not. It's like this. You got into your oversold and then out, and yet you were still more in it than this time, and that wasn't good enough, right? This is definitely normally not a good setup. But when you reject your overbought zone and then you hold your 60 level like you did here, when you ping pong it like that, that is a really good setup most of the time to send you into the overbought zone and see some progressively stronger moves, right? You see your biggest moves. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Biggest moves in the overbought zone, in the oversold zone, right? It was big here. You had some nice candles here compared to the moving down, sure. But your bigger candles happened once you finally got overbought, right? These were fun. This was nice. We got overbought with this candle. we're going to get more of these candles, right? We're going to get less of these candles and more of these candles, bigger candles even, whenever we get into the overbought zone. And that's if we can continue to move up from here. Again, this is a really good setup, bouncing off the 60 like this. I wonder if we can find another example. Even something that would be like relatively opposite would be fine. Like rejecting the oversold zone and then going back to the 40. Let's just see if we can find anything though. I don't know, kind of this right here, kind of, right? Similar kind of idea. You didn't find support right on the 60, but in that area nonetheless, and then moved up. And that was just kind of like the beginning of this move, maybe like the halfway point, if you will. But absolutely, you can see here, rejected the overbought zone. You had a rejection twice, found support in the bullish area of control, moved up, and you just, you continued moving up. Not dramatically, I will say, but definitely continued marching your way up over multiple days of a period, right? And actually, if we're looking at this from like a low, relative low there to the high, that's Friday, the 17th of May to Tuesday, the 21st of May. That's like a 4-day period moving up 14%. We go back here. Come on now. Just as like a same idea. I don't know. I mean, we're probably going to move up more than this, but 14% would take us above that 618, which again, that's what I was saying, right? We found resistance at the 618. It'd be nice to, on this next attempt, go through it, right? I would very much think that we see 411 to 432, those price targets. And this, just based off of what we saw last time, it's not a whole lot to go off of, 14% over 4 days, but I would expect kind of more than that in that same amount of time to occur, at least hitting that $411 target price. But I don't know what the real point of that last like little segment was. I was trying to find an example, and I guess I just couldn't find one, because it is a somewhat, that's the closest I could, right? It's a somewhat peculiar setup. I don't know, maybe like that, but then you found support on the 50, which is also a good thing, and then it continued higher. No other examples really. I mean, kind of here, I guess. Not quite the 60. You didn't even get overbought afterwards, but you did continue higher, right? But this time you were below your 123. You found resistance there. You're below it here too. Maybe, I don't know. We could find a double top. If I'm wrong, if we find a double top and it starts looking like this, well, obviously we'll have different price targets. But at the current time, the call is for Bitcoin Cash to start making its way back above 370. To make it very clear, I know that I've been kind of running through ideas basically for the last 10 minutes, but 376, let's just say 377. The goal is to get above 377 over the coming days, preferably by the end of the week. The sooner the better, but if it happens next week, if it takes a few days, whatever, that's okay too. But I would definitely not like to see something like finding resistance here, coming back down, even going below. Like that would not look good. So we want to break above it on this next attempt, 377, and just basically start reaching for these price targets. That's the goal after the goal. Here's our first goal, and then follow through up to here, right? Because that can, the reason I'm talking about both these things at once is because it can very well happen in the same day, and that could be today. It could take 3 or 4 days to accomplish. It could take more than that, and I could just be wrong about what the outlook is like, but that is my given outlook. So I hope that's clear. I don't know. 377 target move. Next target, I should say, to validate the idea of moving up to 410, 432 over the next like half week or so. And yeah, that's all I got to say. So if you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'm very bullish on the 4-hour RSI, very bullish on the 1 hour. The daily, again, is neutral, waiting for something to happen. But if you look at the price action itself, nice double bottom here. Also finding, support in an area that we found resistance on several times back here, right? Resistance, 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 resistance area. So definitely a key area to watch, and it would make sense to find support as well. So weekly looks fine. Not worried about the weekly at all. I don't like the weekly RSI. That's one thing I'll say, but it is really cooled off, to be completely fair. Last time I was in this area, that's whenever we saw a nice move up like this. So who knows, man. Anyways, I'm done talking. I really am. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. What's Solana do? kind of the same thing. Everything's chilling right now. I got all my charts left up from yesterday. Yeah, chilling. It needs to move up from here, though. Bitcoin, you got to move up, and the rest of crypto's got to move up too. Anyways, guys, bye-bye.